AITA for insisting I keep my deceased wife's engagement ring when her sister wants it for her daughter? My wife and I were together for 15 years. It feels like a lifetime and also like no time at all. We met in college, a cliché I never thought would happen to me. She was studying art history, and I was struggling through engineering. She laughed at my terrible jokes, and I admired her ability to see beauty in everything. We just clicked. We got married 5 years after graduation, a small ceremony with close friends and family. She wore a simple white dress, and I cried when I saw her walk down the aisle. I am not ashamed to admit it. After the wedding, we settled into a routine. I worked long hours at my engineering job. She taught art classes at a local community center. We spent our evenings cooking dinner together, watching movies, or reading books. Weekends were for visiting family, going to museums, or working on house projects. It was a comfortable life. It was predictable. Maybe too predictable. I started to feel restless. I felt like something was missing, but I did not know what. I ignored the feeling. I told myself that it was normal to feel this way after being together for so long. I was wrong about that, too. I remember the day things started to change. It was subtle at first. She started spending more time with her friends. I noticed she was less interested in spending time with me. She would go out for drinks after work and not come home until late. I asked her about it, and she said that she needed space. I did not like that answer. I felt like she was pulling away from me. I tried to talk to her about my feelings, but she did not want to listen. We started arguing more. The arguments were small at first, but they quickly escalated. I felt like we were drifting apart. The first few years of our marriage were great. We traveled a lot. We went to Europe, hiked in the mountains, and explored new cities. We bought a house together, a small fixer-upper that we slowly renovated. We painted the walls, planted a garden, and filled it with furniture we found at antique stores. We hosted parties, cooked dinners, and built a life. I thought we were happy. I thought we would be together forever. I thought wrong. Things started to change after about 10 years. We started arguing more. We disagreed about everything from finances to future plans. We grew distant. We stopped communicating. She started spending more time with her friends. I started working longer hours. We drifted apart. I knew something was wrong, but I did not know what to do. I wanted to fix it, but I did not know how. All I knew was that I loved her. I wanted us to go back to how we were, so I decided to propose to her again. I thought the proposal would help. I planned a special dinner at our favorite restaurant. I made reservations weeks in advance. I even coordinated with the restaurant staff to have flowers and champagne waiting at our table. When I got down on one knee and asked her to marry me again, I expected her to say yes. I thought it would rekindle our love. I thought it would remind us of what we had. I hoped it would make things better. I was wrong. She said yes, but I could tell it was not the enthusiastic yes I had hoped for. It felt forced. It felt like she was doing it to appease me. It made me feel worse than before. Despite my doubts, I still held on to hope. I believed that if we could just get through the wedding, things would change. I thought we could start fresh. So we planned the wedding. We booked a venue. We sent out invitations. We chose a caterer. We did all the things that engaged couples do. During all of that, I saw a shift in her demeanor. She seemed genuinely happy about the wedding plans. She seemed excited. I began to believe that maybe, just maybe, things would be okay. I saved for months to buy her the perfect engagement ring. It was a vintage ring from the 1920s, platinum with a small diamond surrounded by sapphires. She loved it. She said it reminded her of something out of a movie, elegant and timeless. She wore it every day, even when she was just at home. It was a part of her. 3 months ago, she was diagnosed with cancer. It was aggressive and fast-moving. The doctors gave her a year, maybe less. We were devastated. We spent the next few months trying to make the most of the time we had left. We took a trip to Italy, something she had always wanted to do. We visited museums and ate pasta and drank wine. We laughed and cried and held each other close. We talked about everything, our hopes and dreams, our fears and regrets. We made peace with the inevitable. The trip exhausted her, but she said it was worth it. I think she was happy to finally see Italy. I was glad I could make it happen. Back at home, things got harder. She needed more help with everything. I had to learn how to use all her medical equipment. I felt overwhelmed. I was not a nurse. I was her husband. I did not want to see her like this. But I knew I had to be strong for her. I tried to learn as much as I could from the nurses and doctors. I wanted to make her comfortable. I wanted to make her last days as good as possible. I took a leave of absence from my job. I needed to be with her. Our kids came to visit as much as they could. They helped out around the house. They brought food and ran errands. I was grateful for their support. It was hard for them to see their mother so sick. I knew they were hurting. We all were. We tried to focus on the good memories. We looked at old home movies. We laughed at silly things we had done. We tried to keep things as normal as possible, but it was not. We came back home and tried to settle back into our routine. It was difficult. Everything reminded me of her. I would find her hairbrush on the counter or her favorite mug in the sink. Each little thing was a sharp stab of pain. We had hospice care come to the house. I learned how to administer her medication. I slept next to her in our bed. I wanted to be there for her every moment. As she got weaker, our conversations shifted. We talked less about the future and more about the past. We looked at old photo albums and reminisced about our life together. We told each other stories about when we first met, about our wedding, about raising our children. We laughed and cried some more. The last few days were difficult to watch. She was in a lot of pain, even with the medication. She drifted in and out of consciousness. I stayed by her side, holding her hand and talking to her. I told her how much I loved her. I told her how grateful I was for every moment we had together. I told her it was okay to let go. I will miss her terribly. I do not know how to imagine life without her. I know she would want me to be strong. I will try my best to honor her memory. She passed away last week. It was peaceful, in her sleep, with me holding her hand. The grief is overwhelming. It feels like a part of me is missing, like the world is a little less bright. I am trying to cope, to navigate this new reality without her. It is hard. Now, here is where I might be the a-hole. My wife's sister is helping me sort through her belongings. It is a difficult process, filled with memories and emotions. We were going through her jewelry box, deciding what to keep, what to donate, what to give to family and friends. I saw the engagement ring. It was nestled in a velvet box, exactly where she always kept it. I hesitated for a moment before picking it up. The ring sparkled under the light. I remembered the day I gave it to her. We were both so happy, so full of hope for the future. Now she is gone. Holding the ring brought all those memories back, both the good and the bad. I closed the box and put it to the side. We continued sorting through the rest of the jewelry, but I kept thinking about that ring. I knew I needed to ask my wife's sister about it. I waited until we finished going through the jewelry box. The room felt heavy. I knew it was not going to be easy. My wife's sister sat across from me. I gathered my thoughts. I told her that I saw the engagement ring. It was important to me. I asked if it was possible for me to have it. I explained how much it meant to me. I hoped she would be understanding of my request. I knew it might be a sensitive topic. I asked her sister if I could have it. I explained that it was special to me, that it held a lot of memories. I wanted to keep it as a reminder of our love, a tangible connection to her. I thought she would understand. She did not. She refused to even consider selling it. I thought maybe she needed the money. I know things have been tight since my wife passed away, especially with the medical bills. I offered to help her find a reputable jeweler or an online auction site. I explained how much the ring was worth based on the appraisal. I thought logic would work, but I was wrong. I was surprised by how adamant she was. I did not push it too much. I understand that the ring is sentimental to her. It was my wife's, after all. I just thought she could use the money more. I will respect her wishes. I just wish there was another way. She said that the ring should stay in the family, that it should be passed down to her daughter, my wife's niece, when she gets older. She said that it would be a way to remember my wife, to keep her memory alive for future generations. She said that the ring should stay in the family, that it should be passed down to her daughter, my wife's niece, when she gets older. She said that it would be a way to remember my wife, to keep her memory alive for future generations. I was taken aback. I told her that I understood her point, but that the ring meant more to me, that I was the one who had given it to my wife, that it was a symbol of our marriage, our life together. I said that I needed it, that it would help me through this difficult time. I explained that the ring was not just an object. I told her it was a reminder of my wife's love and our shared history. I said that giving it away would feel like giving away a part of her. I told her I was not trying to be difficult, but that this was something I really needed. I thought she would understand my grief. I thought she would respect my wishes, but I was wrong. I felt angry and frustrated. I could not believe she was being so unreasonable. I told her that my wife had never said anything about the ring going to her niece. I asked her why she was pushing this so hard. I said that I needed some time to think, that I was not ready to make a decision. I told her that we could talk about it later, but she would not let it go. She refused. She said that her daughter deserved it, that it was her right as the next female in the family line. She accused me of being selfish, of not thinking about anyone but myself. She said that my wife would have wanted her niece to have it. I do not know if that is true. My wife never explicitly stated who she wanted to have the ring after she was gone. We talked about many things, but that was not one of them. I always assumed that I would get it back, that it was something that would stay with me. I asked her about the ring. I told her I wanted it. It was my grandmother's, and it meant a lot to me. I explained that it was a connection to my family, to my past. My wife said she understood, but that she thought her sister should have it. Her sister had always admired the ring, she said. Giving it to her would be a way to remember my wife. I said I did not think that was fair. The ring was from my family. It should stay in my family. She disagreed. She said that since she was gone, she should get to decide who got it. She said her sister needed something to remember her by. I said that her sister had other things, pictures and memories. The ring was the only thing I had left of my grandmother. I felt like she was choosing her sister over me, even after death. The conversation escalated from there. We argued. It was not a pleasant argument. Voices were raised, tears were shed. In the end, we reached an impasse. She refused to give me the ring, and I refused to let it go. She packed it up with the other jewelry that was going to her family and left. I am now left with a hollow feeling. I feel like I have lost something else, something precious and irreplaceable. I understand her perspective. I understand that she wants to keep my wife's memory alive, that she wants to give her daughter something special. But I also feel like I am entitled to the ring, that it is mine, that it represents my love for my wife. I went to another room and sat down. I thought about my wife and all the years we had together. I remembered when I bought the ring, how excited she was. I pictured her wearing it, how it sparkled in the light. I considered what my wife would want me to do. This entire situation is difficult. I considered the sister's perspective too. My wife is gone. Her sister has a daughter who will never know her aunt. Maybe the ring could be something for the daughter to remember her by. I am still unsure of what to do. I need to think about what is best for everyone, not just myself. I called my best friend and told him what happened. He said that I should try to talk to her sister again, to explain how I feel. He said that maybe we could reach a compromise. I do not know if a compromise is possible. I do not know if she will ever understand my point of view. I am considering offering her money for the ring, but I do not know if that would make things worse. It feels crass, like I am trying to buy my wife's memory. I am turning this over and over in my head. I cannot decide what to do next. Every option seems bad. Giving her money feels wrong. Keeping the ring feels wrong too, now. I wish my wife were here to tell me what to do. She always knew how to navigate difficult situations. She was good at finding solutions that made everyone happy. I miss that so much right now. Maybe I am focusing too much on the ring itself. Perhaps the value is only in what it represents. The representation is my marriage. My marriage existed whether or not I have an object to prove it. The idea of getting rid of the ring still makes me feel bad. But I should think more about my wife and less about this object. I do not want her memory to be tied to fighting. I am at a loss. I do not want to cause any more conflict. I do not want to disrespect my wife's memory. But I also do not want to let go of the ring. It is the only thing I have left of her, the only tangible reminder of our love. So, AITA for wanting my wife's engagement ring back after she died, even though her sister thinks it should go to her daughter? Is it selfish of me to want it, to prioritize my own grief over her family's desire to keep her memory alive? Am I being unreasonable? I really do not know what to do. I just miss her so much. The ring is a symbol of everything we had, and losing it feels like losing her all over again. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am just blinded by grief. I just want something to remember her by, something that was ours, something that represents the love we shared. I do not know if that makes me an a-hole, but it is how I feel.